Hey, Kelsey, Norm MacDonald here. So, you have a podcast, huh? Fantastic. You know what I always say? You know what the world needs more of? Podcasts.
Live from the Screwball Whiskey Studios, The Kelsey Hudgins Show.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Screwball Whiskey Studios, indeed. SKREW ballwhiskey.com. Tomorrow's stories begin right here. Hashtag get screwed, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag screw it forward. All other peanut butter whiskeys are posers. Screwball peanut butter whiskey is the one and only original peanut butter whiskey. Yeah. Man, isn't it great? For the misfits, for the black sheep, for the screwballs, this one goes out to you. Screwballwhiskey.com. DramaCityProductions.com. DramaCityProductions.com/Kelsey Hudgins Show. Come join us in the Kill Tony Discord at killdiscord.com. Got some cool shit going on over there coming up in the future that you should be excited about because I'm excited about it. Follow me on Twitter and Periscope at Kelsey Hudgins, spelled just like that. And follow me on Instagram and Twitch at Yonder Wizard, spelled just like that. And one more time, reminding you to go to screwballwhiskey.com, SKREW ballwhiskey.com. Follow my brother Kreko, my brother Kerry, KRE at KREKO on Instagram to document his travels with Screwball Whiskey and the places where he goes. I go to Boston. He goes to Boston. He's in Boston right now. So how are you? How's it going? It's been a while. It has been a while. I hope you are all doing well. I have not been. And I'm going to come right out of the gate and be honest with you about, just be honest with you about where I've been. So I have been, let's see. Let me start back from let me start this back for a while. First off, very good to see you. I hope you are doing well again. And second off, sorry I kind of just dipped on everybody as far as the podcast thing goes. I've had a couple of people that I've seen recently, and you know who you are, listeners of the podcast, who have told me that they have missed the episodes showing up more frequently, and that's my fault. I have no excuses for that. But here I am right now, and here we are back again, and I'm hoping that this is going to start a new trend of me going live more often. I've just been so fucking lazy, y'all. I've just not felt like doing anything, and so let's talk about the thing, the elephant in the room, right off the bat. I have depression. I struggle with depression. Anybody who has listened to this podcast or the MI Stuff podcast in the past, anybody who's listened to any of those old episodes of that knows that I've spoken extensively about depression and things like that, and how I struggle with it and whatnot. And most of the time, it's pretty manageable, and I can, still get shit done and still be who I need to be and get out here and do all of the things that I need to get done in the world, and unscathed, mind you. But sometimes I end up getting the best of myself, and just literally getting the best of myself and letting my brain get the best of me, and that's never a good thing. That's never a good thing to do, is getting inside your own head, I guess. But I can't help it. And that's just something that I do, and that's something that I struggle with, and I'm always going to struggle with it. But yeah, I just get inside my own head too much. And it's a weird thing when everything's going well and you're not feeling well. Like, it's like there's a line in a Jason Isbell song called Anxiety where he's like, I'm wide awake and I'm in pain. I can't enjoy a goddamn thing. Just things like that. And I feel that way. It's like, even though I am, like, things are going pretty well, like, I'm not, like, behind on my bills, or, I don't owe a vast amount of money to a bunch of different places. And I always thought, like, this is where I want to get in life. This is where I want to be, is just to where I can financially, be comfortable. Be financially comfortable is I think, where I've always viewed making it as, like, we're not making it as in, like, fame or anything like that, but just making it as in just being able to fucking afford your life. And I've gotten to that point, and I realize that, this feels like the end of the game. Do I want to just wait for the next year's version of this game to come out and play it again, or do I want to play a different game? And I don't know, man. I'm just conflicted because I've never felt that way before, and I've never thought about, switching it up or doing something different. Just because I was good at playing music, that meant that, okay, well, I'll just do this thing that I'm good at because it's easy to make money doing that. And then when doing that to make money is getting to be like a monotonous thing, to where I'm like, okay, well, I know that if I play these 5 songs tonight, that I will be able to fill my tip jar up with $100 plus and lose a little bit of my soul. And I'll all too often make the decision to play those songs too. Like, I will do those things. And I did it in my gig yesterday. I had my last gig of the stretch yesterday, and I played a few of those songs that just that musicians are like, oh, really, you're gonna play that one, dude? And I played everything that anybody asked for, dude. I didn't care. I was just kind of like, sure. I ate like 500 milligrams of edibles the night before. I was still pretty fucked up when I woke up that morning. And I struggled through the first bit of it, and the gig ended up going really well. And there's some other things that happen off the record. If you talk to me in the Discord or get with me privately, I'll let you know what it was. And some of the podcast listeners who were there at that, Chuck and Meredith, I'm looking at y'all. Some of those people who were there will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, get with me privately, and I'll tell you a really funny story about something that happened at the gig. But yeah, dude, it's been tough for me to get. And by the way, I'm looking down at my monitor where everything is, and trying to keep the reflection of everything off of these glasses. These are like blue lens glasses to like help the harmful rays or whatever from the television. or whatever. And like, obviously my camera setup is like this. So used to, when I would do these podcasts, the whole thing would be just me staring at you doing like this. But don't think that I'm just like looking down because I'm in a weird mood or whatever, which I kind of am. But that's not why I'm looking down. I'm looking down because to look up with the camera, I don't have the monitor here. So just letting you know why that's a thing. Disclaimer, I guess I should have said that at the beginning, but hell, I've got you all here now, so fuck it. Now you've heard it. Anyway, I've literally I've just fallen into a pit of like misery of my own making, and I just find myself like wondering, like, all right, so this used to be the kind of thing where I would get anxiety about having to see my family just because I feel like my family, and I know that they don't, but it's a thing that I've put on myself to where I just feel like they wish that I lived home still. They wish that I would have, hung around and, worked with my dad. And I believe that if given a choice, that those in my family would have maybe chosen a different, maybe not a different path. They probably would have still, wanted me to play music, but they would have wanted me to do it differently. And I feel like, I think my family and my folks would have chosen a different path for me, or a different life style for me. And I feel their thoughts on that matter when I'm with them, and that would give me anxiety. I've never been this honest about this subject ever. I'd get the anxiety because I feel like they, and maybe I've just forgotten, but I just feel like their thoughts, I feel their disapproval in me sometimes when I'm with them, so that gives me anxiety. And it's coming up on the time of year where there's a lot of family get-togethers. My birthday is tomorrow, and it's always the birthdays where they'll want to try to hang out, and not nothing against anybody or them. I just don't feel like doing anything ever. I mean, I'm just content with just sitting at home by myself, just watching scary movies and smoking. Like, that's kind of what I do. And I know it's not like a grand life for most people's, by most people's measure. But in my own mind, I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do, which is basically play music for a living and do whatever the fuck I want. So, yeah, I get that. I get that, Thick. But, yeah, anyway, I don't want to be scatterbrained here. I'm a little bit stoned. I kind of ripped a few GBs before we did this because I was just doing a VR chat with Red Band, and I know this is ADD conversation because I'm doing like stop points all over the place. But just trust me, if you've never seen me do one of these talks before, I will tie it all in together. So basically, the anxiety that is caused by feeling the obligation to just honestly spend time with people that I know and love well, and oh, I got you. Oh, yeah, I get you. Like, yeah, try not to take people as misunderstanding me as disapproval. Yeah, I get that. But yes, the anxiety that is caused by that starts around my birthday when it comes time for me to start hanging out with them. And then it's like several other birthdays. And like, it was my stepmom's birthday the other day. And I sent her a message in the group text. It was my sister's birthday a couple weeks ago. I sent her a message in the group text. I mean, I know that these are, I don't know. I've never really, I don't know. I've never really put much stock into like the birthdays and things like that. Not since I was a kid that would get presents or somebody who like, oh yeah, I need money. So give me money for my birthday. And, you know, ever since those days, I've just not really cared much. It just doesn't, and holidays are the same with me. Like, I don't, like, holidays are fine, I guess. I mean, but it seems more like an obligation than anything else. Like, and I don't like obligations. So, that getting to the point, it's coming up on the time when I will have to be in the situations that I don't want to be in so much. And where I end up falling into this mindset. It's like, oh, well, you know, you got this thing that's coming up, you know, that you're not really going to want to do. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I just don't really want to think about it right now. And I just push it to the back. But every single time it makes a copy of itself and says, hey, you know, they've got this thing coming up that you're probably not going to want to be a part of, but you're going to have to do it. I push it to the back. And they pile up and they pile up and they pile up. And then it just gets to the point to where it's cluttered and the space in my mind gets just cluttered. And I have less of a room to work with in my head. And all I can feel are these impending, you know, things that I'm going to be obligated to do, like leave my house. And I can warrant leaving my house to go to work or to acquire food or necessities for myself. But for some reason, my fucking caveman brain will not allow me to want to leave my house for like, oh, well, you know, these people would love to see you. It would be nice for you to go hang out with them and spend some time with them for the day. Or, you know, spend a couple of days with them. Like, my brain won't allow me to, oh, but we need to be home. But we want to be home. That's where we're comfortable. And that's where I am comfortable, is here. And this is honestly the only place where I'm truly comfortable. And I've realized that in my life, is more of it's more of a quest to acquire comfort. Oh, I hear that, Scooter. Yeah, I think that too, and I think that they do appreciate it when I come back, and it means more then because I'm not just like showing up for Thanksgiving or showing up for Christmas. Like, if I just show up one day because, like, that'll mean more. And I mean, not like I do that often, but in all honesty, playing music and not having a lot of time off ever playing music, I just kind of shut down on my days off. Like, I literally just shut down, dude. I get in the I would either get on the couch and now the recliner and just literally chill hard all day. And that's all I would do. And that's kind of my thing. I enjoy doing that. And I was talking to somebody on Snapchat earlier and was like, you know, just 100 times out of 100, I always choose to be alone at home. Like, when somebody's like, hey, you should come hang out. Or, hey, man, we're doing this thing. It'd be really cool to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. 100 times out of 100, I'm going to choose just staying at home because that's where I'm just the most comfortable. And catching you all up on these things, and I'm repeating myself a lot, and I'm sorry for that. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I'm a little rusty and I'm a little stoned, so forgive me. But that is what I mean by getting in my own head. And I've been living there heavily for the last 2.5 months. So to catch you guys up, I know I've talked about it a little bit intermittently on the VR chat stuff and a little bit in between, other podcasts that I may have done since the quarantine has started. But what it did was for the first couple of weeks, I was fucking stoked, dude. I mean, legit stoked. So, it gave me permission, and it made it mandatory for everyone to do what I secretly always want to do. Well, not even secretly, just openly always want to do, which is just stay home and do nothing. And it's like, you know what? You guys have to stay home. You can't leave your house. And I'm like, cool, dude. You talk me into it. Don't twist my arm. It really gave me the opportunity to do what I love to do, which is sit here and be alone. And when I went through the first couple of weeks of that, I was like, yeah, this is great. This is awesome. And then we lost 2 weeks of gigs to that. Well, then the gigs started coming back. So after the gigs started coming back, I was presented with the opportunity to take a few gigs for a few weeks. And I tried that for I think 2 weeks after taking 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I think I tried 2 weeks on and didn't work out for me in my own mind. So I took another 3 weeks off. Somebody who I had contact with tested positive for corona. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to pretend that I've got it. And I took 3 weeks off. So in total, oh, Alan, I hear you. Take some mushrooms. I might can do that. I might drop some acid. Who knows? But anyway, I digress. Where was I? Where was I in that? Okay, yes. So I took 3 weeks off. So that's 5 weeks in total that I ended up taking off. And when I got back to work, I stopped filing the unemployment claims that I was on, and because I didn't want to take advantage of the shit. Because I know a lot of people are doing that, and a lot of people are going to be doing that and end up having to pay that shit back one day. And I'm like, I already selected that they take taxes out of mine free and clear already, so I don't owe anything back at the end. Like, they take all that shit out up front. And anyway, so I think what happened in my mind is that I overfed myself the thing that I love too much. And they always say too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. I feel like I overdosed myself with the thing that I really wanted. And maybe subconsciously that's what I wanted to do. Maybe I wanted to burn myself out on that, notion to where all I wanted to do was nothing. but it kind of set me up to really crave that lifestyle more now. So now I'm thinking, is there a way that I can still play songs, I can still play music here and there and do pretty well for myself going forward here? But I wonder, is there a way that I could maybe cut back on doing some of that stuff and make a somewhat of an equivalent amount of dollars from not leaving my house? And that's where my brain starts to wonder. That's when I'm thinking, is this a thing that could work? Could this happen? And the honest answer to that is no for me right now. Like, I don't have the discipline. I don't have the discipline to get up every day and come out here and crank up the computer and jump on and create and stream or do whatever it would be to edit and shit like that. Like, I haven't unlocked that in me in a long time. Though I've had that before, I don't have it right now. And there's something that I need to do to unlock that, or to, make that normal again to what it was again. And I don't know what that thing is going to be. But all of this and all of these things that have been happening, plus I'm not doing the podcast as much because this was my therapist, that I would just get on and talk and get these things in my head out. And I haven't been doing that so much. So a culmination of the anxiety of literally just being obligated to do family things, the complacency in doing nothing and just laying around all day and just being a fat fucking piece of shit and doing nothing, like watching movies, making jokes on Discord. Like, sure, that's cool, but I mean, is it furthering me or anybody else? And the fact that I'm coming up on the anniversaries of a lot of, I don't know, it's just, I'm coming up on the anniversaries of a lot of deaths that occurred in my family. And all of that stuff starts to weigh down on me towards the end of the year. Plus, I think a thing of habitual stress, as in I always have money trouble in the wintertime. And I historically would just go really broke in the wintertime and go behind on rent for a couple of months. And I would always end up having to just, like I said, just going behind on rent and just all my bills, everything getting cut off, like my phone getting cut off. Like, I went without a cell phone for months once over the wintertime because I just couldn't afford to pay it and stay in my house. So like that's historically been a problem over the winter. Though the last couple have been fine, I think I've got the habitual stress associated with this time of year because of that, coupled with the fact that a lot of the people close to me and my family, passed away close to these holidays that are approaching shortly after this month. And it just doesn't leave me in a good headspace. And for those of you who've never listened to this before, I know that there's been a lot of listeners and viewers that I've ended up adding over the course of. Oh man, Switchy, I appreciate that, dude. And Joey Diaz, I appreciate that, Uncle Joey. But just knowing that all of these things are coming, I can somewhat prepare myself for it. But every year, it's never any better. And it seems like it's going to be, but it rarely is. I think a part of just getting older is just becoming content with dealing with these issues and handling this depression. But I don't want it to be. I don't want to deal with the habitual stress of it anymore. Like, I don't want to be sad just because I'm used to being sad. Yeah, I'm just, this is how I feel, and I'm just used to this time of year. This is what I've come to expect. And just having those, to somewhat finish my thought, I like having a bad day, having a bad string of days is easy when you're already inside your own head and you're putting things off, you're piling things up in your mind and you're not actually dealing with them. You're just shoving them to the side, which is something I always advise people not to do, but it's much easier said than done. And just dealing with, and then another thing about just becoming kind of complacent with my career and where I'm at in it, and struggling with a decision on, what do I do? Do I just jump up and leave everything here that I've kind of worked for the last 5 to 10 years with the couple of bands that I'm in, and just go try something new somewhere else? Do I stand here and, continue to try to make this work and slowly slip into this monotonous 9 to 5 feeling that I've always hated and tried to avoid? And being a grown-up fucking sucks. Paying bills fucking sucks. Just the culmination of all of these things has gotten me to the point to where all I care to do most days is sleep until 3 hours before my gig, wake up, take a shit and a shower, have 30 minutes to an hour to sit and smoke pot before I get on the road to go play my gig, at which point I would order food from whatever restaurant I played or stop at whatever random fucking fast food joint is open on the way home, eat, smoke more, and then stay up all night and hang out with my internet friends, which I love, by the way, and I love you all. Hang out with my internet friends, and then until the sun comes up, and then I'm comfortable enough to fall asleep because the sun's up now, and I know that that's what I have to do, and then put off cleaning up my house until a little bit at the time. There's some updates to all the stuff that I'm talking about that I'll get to in a second, but I'm just building this thing for you. We're just letting shit pile up in my house that I need to get done, that I've just put off because I don't feel like doing anything, and just fucking sad for no reason. Like, for no reason at all. There's no reason I'm sad. And I know that there's no reason that I'm sad because I make up reasons to be sad from other things. It's because I'm used to feeling sad this time of year, and I will look for any reason at all to make that a thing. So whether it's just dealing with bullshit on the Discord community, or whether it's which by the way, dealing with bullshit in the Discord community, where I'm a moderator in the Kill Tony Discord, and we have shit that we deal with all the time that's just random, that that affects people. Like, it affects people super negatively a lot of the times, and I have to like constantly check with the other moderators to be like, hey, I need to check right now to make sure I'm not fucking I'm not going too overboard on this, because I'm in my feelings about something. And I don't know, I've been getting in my feelings a lot about stuff, and just having to double check myself with ways I'm feeling, even in just normal life, with situations and people going on. I went right in the corner up there just now. If you're watching this video, you should rewind it and look up the the Merlin GIF perfectly fit in the corner of the screen up there. Sorry. It's like the DVD thing in The Office when it goes right in the corner. But no, just like dealing with things in my own life that are bothering me. And yeah, it's a habit. It's 100% a habit. I did start this exactly for this reason, and I do have to stick with it. And I appreciate your kind words always, Witchy. And by the way, shout out to Zwitchy, Jorg. I never pronounce it right. My boy is Zwitchy, all the way from Switzerland. My German boy from Switzerland, and Thek, my Australian brother from Perth. Without them, none of this will be possible, because these guys helped me build this computer, and also through this and helping me fund the building of this computer as well, are executive producers of this show. And I appreciate all that you guys do, and you really don't know how much having y'all there to listen to me bitch it means to me. And also to the one person who I probably do, the one person who does more. I'll explain this. There's something. The next thing that I'm gonna say isn't gonna make sense to a lot of people, but to the people that hear it, it's gonna make all the sense in the world. To the ones who do get it, is my boy Valish. Is all like Valish's main. The reason I've always said Valish is the best of us is because Valish has always done everything that he could to make sure that I understand that I am welcome in the community, and that I am like an integral part, and that he's always he's talked me off of ledges, not literally, but Valish has like talked me out of a lot of just crazy shit. He's been my guy on the inside for a long fucking time. Shout out to you and everybody else in the fucking Discord. This oh, that's so sweet. Love y'all back, dude. I really do. But just y'all have no idea how much y'all saved me, man. Like, y'all really did. Y'all saved me. And you don't know how true that is. The Discord community that I'm part of, in the Kill Discord community, it literally came along in a time in my life when I was kind of lost. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. As far as you can't just have work. You know, you have to have something else on the side, and I was getting bored. I was fucking with woodworking for a while, but I'm limited which I still want to do, by the way. I'm limited in my space. I can't really do a lot of woodworking here in this apartment. And then I just started. I've always been into comedy, and I found Kill Tony and became obsessed with the idea of, oh shit, you guys teach comedians how to do comedy? Like, this is fucking brilliant. So I went back and started watching them all, and the show became an actual production and became something else. And I ended up kind of being part of that community online and getting to where I am now, like Kill Tony. And it's the branches that came out of Kill Tony and all the shit that Red Band produced and that Tony's done and all of the other guys literally fucking saved me, man. It gave me something that I was really interested in to like give me something to do. That it gave me something to do that I really fucking dug, and I felt like I was like getting some kind of gain out of. So a lot of the reason why you guys haven't seen me in the podcast so much as of late is because I've been doing so much stuff with the Discord community. And by doing so much stuff, I mean like we hang out all day in voice chat and just punch jokes and just talk about random shit all the fucking time. And it's literally become it replaced the podcast as the therapist that I needed. And it literally just kind of stepped in that place, and it really fucking saved my life when I was feeling like the podcast wasn't doing it anymore. And now that I'm sitting here and I'm hearing myself say all these things, I'm remembering why I enjoy doing these, because I would just get myself stupid high and sit down and just let my mouth run until I started hearing what my problems were. And getting back to my main point of just, I realize now that I would just look for things to be upset about. And I would find any little thing that I could to piss me off, or any little thing that I could just make me feel inadequate. And I would create these things and these delusions in my own head knowingly, and then talk myself into them being real. Like, I would hypothetically run situations that could occur in my head and then convince myself that they did occur, and then have to go and talk to somebody and be like, hey, am I a crazy person, or is this happening? Because I need to know, and I trust that you will tell me the truth, without any emotions or any bias. Like, I need to know if I'm being unrealistic by thinking this or what. And I find myself in that situation often. But fortunately for me, I have found a really, really good support group, a really good community of people who will roast you as hard as they will support you. And both of those are fierce in their ways of doing that. And that's great. Music's going great. I'm up on my bills. I'm not going into the winter time, in thousands of dollars of debt. And I'm not going into the winter time with, a couple of months of, back rent that I still haven't paid, or bills piled up. And I've got a really fucking awesome Lazy Boy recliner that I've afforded myself over the summer spoils. Tomorrow is my fucking birthday. I have a group of Discord people who love me unconditionally for exactly who I am and nothing more. And even more people in my real life friends who feel the same way, who will stop what they're doing to come if I need them to help me do something. And I have family, I have nephew and niece who are outstanding and that I love dearly, and sisters and brother who I absolutely love and that love me. And even though I try to convince myself that they don't approve of what I do, I know that they do approve, and I just have to find something to point that angst at. I create my own misery, and I blame it on everybody else. And I don't know why I do this, but it just creates such feedback is the best word I can think of. It creates interference in my brain. And for those who know me, know that I hold my brain and its ability to function at a high fucking level, at a high tier. And anytime I feel like my brain gets to the point to where it gets too clouded to function properly, I am just out of sorts. And that's where I've been lately. I feel like that and not for the reason of drugs or anything like that, because I'm not a stranger to any type of drug, but emotions and thoughts and vibes and feelings and things like this that will affect my mentality and affect my brain and just alter how I react to things and the speed in which I can do so. And that is what the weight of me not doing the podcast or any of those things that I've just mentioned that I get anxiety about, the impending doom in my mind, which is just in all actuality going and hanging out and having dinner with your fucking family. That is what I've been doing. That is where I've been. I've been there. I've been struggling with that. I've been feeling that. Oh yeah, I hear you, Scooter, and I do know, and everybody is in the chat, by the way. And by the way, if not, now's as good a time as ever. If you guys are hearing this in the future and you want to, interact with this, come and hang out. I keep an eye on the chat for the most part and like respond to things that people say and shit like that. So by all means, if you guys ever want to come and chat, like do that. Do that. Come subscribe on the YouTube and shit. But just knowing that I have all of these things coming up and just overanalyzing things in my own brain and having these moments here where I can come and say these things out loud and hear myself say them and say, "Oh, that's kind of ridiculous, dude. You're not being fair about this to yourself." Having those words in my head, being able to hear myself say it helps a lot. Because unfortunately, I'm the only person I'll listen to. And I guess I'm pretty good at like trying to call myself out on things as I see it happen. But I think lately I've just been getting too close to the situation as far as in my own mind and why I'm sad. And I wrote a song night before last, and it's a real one because it took less than 20 minutes to write. And I mean, maybe less than 10. I don't know. It came out so fast that it's real. And in my thoughts on songwriting is that songs are just floating around, and sometimes they're just looking for somebody to write them. And if you just happen to be the one with the pen, if you just so happen to be the one with the pen and the will to take the time to write it down, then you're the one that's going to write it. And just this song found me the other night, and I just plugged my own situation into it and wrote some of the realest shit that I've ever written. And hear that it's now 6 a.m., closing in on the 6 o'clock hour. I'll have another hour or so before my neighbors are up and at 'em going to work and shit, and I can get away with making noise in the house. I may start recording on that and just stay awake and just record that and sleep when I'm done. But I tell you what, for the sake of tying together all the loose ends that I've left open, I think I will give this big, what do you call that? What's the word? Synopsis? Is that the word? On this whole thing. You guys haven't seen me do a podcast in a while because I've been sad and depressed and not feeling my best. And this is not supposed to rhyme, yet it does. I've not been well mentally. I have been doing as little as possible because it subdues my mind. And unfortunately, because of that, my podcast has been suffering. And in short, it being my birthday season and having anxieties, social anxieties, no matter who I'm hanging out with, be it friends or family or anybody, outside of having to go and work and having my own stage and my own space and knowing there's an exact time that I'm going to be able to leave. Outside of that, I am almost crippled in going out. I have a really hard time leaving my house to do anything with anybody. Coming up on the time of holiday season where I would have to spend a lot of time with family and friends, the anxieties of that and knowing that the obligation is impending has resulted in much added stress on top of the habitual stress that I have that is misplaced from things that I do not have to be stressed about anymore. In turn, I am now putting all of these stressful feelings towards things that truly don't deserve them. And coming to this realization is embarrassing and difficult to cope with. The anxieties and feelings of all of the culminations of those situations is what has caused me to have fallen into doing nothing and just reclining my days away and just sitting in voice chat, doing voices and making random jokes about things that people say. It's just gotten to that point in my life. And by the way, I should say that you have nothing to worry about. I don't even want to grace it with saying the word. I have committed to the end of this. I've committed to seeing my story end. Not on my terms, but on the universe's or God's or whatever you call it. I've committed to the end of this story, so you have nothing to worry about with that. I've just been sad. In long story short, that's what's going on. There's nothing else going on. I've just been sad. And things will get better. I'll get in a better mood shortly after the end of the year. Maybe before then, maybe who knows? Maybe I'll do another one of these podcasts tomorrow or whatever. Or maybe I'll start doing podcasts like 2 and 3 times a week and start, doing shit like that, and things will turn around and I'll get back on, on top in my own mind again, because it's not, it sounds conceited, but to be on top of things in life is just not enough. It's not enough to be on. We watched the Comedy Store documentary. By the way, you should watch that, y'all. It's on Showtime. Episode 1 and 2 are both released already on Showtime. You should definitely watch them. They were talking about Freddie Prinze and how his buddy was like, you have everything in the world, man. Why do you feel like this? And he was, I don't know. And not that I'm nowhere near where Freddie Prinze was when, he was feeling like that in his life. But I've accomplished a lot and I've done a lot. And I've built a name for myself and a couple of bands, and I had a podcast that did very well for a long time, and got very good at it, and have ended up finding myself in a position to where I can converse back and forth with some of the biggest comedians in the fucking world, and have landed I've had a lot of shit go well, and I still don't feel great about where I'm at in my own life. And maybe this is just the discomfort that comes right before I shed this shell and grow into a different one. What do you say? Would I shoot arrows into Travolta's door? Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, no worries, Scooter. I hear you, man. Summary. There you go, Thick. I appreciate that. The kind words about the song, too, buddy. Yeah, I released, I sent a copy of this song out to a few of my friends. Just a raw version of the words. I tried 4 times. It was the 4th take that I ended up recording. And after 4 or 3 tries, I found one that I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep this, and I'll brush it up better later. But anyway, I sent that copy out to several people, and I don't mind. I hope he doesn't mind me saying, but my boy's Wishy, George in the chat, actually sent the lyrics of that song to Joey Diaz, and Joey had some kind words about it, and that really, really made me feel fucking good, man. And I really, that means a lot to me, dude, that you did that, and I appreciate that. But yes, just a summary of everything that is in this episode, the TLDR. That's it, man. I've been sad. I'll get better. I'll be better. This is just a pendulum swing for me. And just, right now I'm just in the negative side of the pendulum, but I'll be back on the other side very soon. And I hope that this is a reoccurring thing and not just something that I do and you don't hear from me again for weeks. But I know me too well to make promises. So, yeah, there's going to be another Yonder record coming out soon, and this next record that comes out is going to be released under the Black Heart Records umbrella. I mean, actually, I think Black Heart Records has already been taken, but I was thinking about it the other day. Let's see. There is a Black Heart, one word. And there's Black Hearts Records. But I don't think there's Black Space Heart Records. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're either going to call it that or something Yonder related, but I don't fucking know. I just know that this next album is going to be recorded right here, and I will be the only person on it playing instruments, all the instruments, and that's how it's going to go. So I don't know that I have anything else for you. I guess I will just say this for the sake of saying it. I know what it's like to have thoughts that are less than desirable. And I've gotten through a lot of them for a long time. So if you ever have any of those thoughts and you don't have anybody to talk to me. Get at me on any social media. Like, message me on Twitter at Kelsey Hudgins. Message me on Instagram at Yonder Wizard. Like, talk to me, and I will fucking be happy to talk to you and try to help you talk through some of these problems that you might have, or anything that I can help with. I'm more than happy to help with. Just, I know what this shit is like. It's not fun. And people talk about, well, sad people, you would think, you have an idea of what sad people look like, and then this is what sad people look like. And right now you can kind of get it, because you've been hearing me talk about how sad I am for a fucking hour. When you see me out in the world and, like, I'm making jokes and I'm doing voices and faces and making you laugh and doing bits on stage and, doing crowd work or talking shit to a lady because she's bitching about my sound or something and roasting people in the crowd like that. That's fun, but behind all of that, there's depression, and it's there, and it just doesn't fucking go anywhere. But that being said, I'm not going to bore you anymore with any of this stuff. I will say I love you. You are important, and I am glad that you are here. And come back, please do. This is we're going to do more of these for sure. I've been a little skittish about getting these things started just because I think that it puts me in the same vein of the obligations that I was talking about earlier. I feel like the obligations of doing the podcast and things like that may weigh down on me as well, but I don't think that's a bad obligation to have. And maybe I just need to reroute my thinking, because I'm obviously the one the problem. I'm the problem in the equation, which is easy to come up to that conclusion on your own, I guess, if you sit in front of a fucking camera and talk to yourself for an hour. All right. So I will say this. Check this out. I got my Kill Tony pin in the mail the other day from my boy Tony Hinchcliffe to go with my Death Squad and my Hinchcliffe Red Band button. My Hinchcliffe Red Band 20 button. Tony from the Roast University, in the Roast University class, sent me a bunch of cool shit, nice little care package, and some kind words. Really cool bunch of things that he sent. So that was really neat. If you want to learn how to roast, go check out Tony's roast class, Roaster Master class. I'm pretty sure it's patreon.com/Tony Hinchcliffe. Pretty sure. But screwballwhiskey.com, SKREW ballwhiskey.com. Tomorrow's stories begin right here. Hashtag get screwed, hashtag screw it forward. All other peanut butter whiskeys are posers. Screwball peanut butter whiskey is the one and only original peanut butter whiskey. Screwballwhiskey.com. DramaCityProductions.com. DramaCityProductions.com/Kelsey Hudgins Show. KillDiscord.com. Come join us at the Kill Tony Discord at KillDiscord.com. A lot of really neat things coming up here over the next couple of weeks. Random cool shit that we're testing out and trying. Come hang out with us in the Discord. Follow me on Twitter and Periscope at Kelsey Hudgins, and follow me on Instagram and Twitch at Yonder Wizard, ZZERD, Yonder Wizard. Once again, screwballwhiskey.com. Tomorrow's stories begin right here. In a world full of shitty people, don't be one of those people. Be a good person. It ain't that hard. Peace, bitches.